The library was supposed to be a sanctuary, a place of hushed whispers and rustling parchment, not chaotic collisions. Yet, fate had other plans. Fred Weasley, notorious prankster of Gryffindor, rounded a corner, his arms laden with books. He never expected to crash into anyone, least of all Clara Lestrange. Clara, known as the Ice Queen of Slytherin, was as surprised as Fred. Books tumbled from her grasp, scattering across the floor. She glared at Fred, her icy blue eyes burning with annoyance. Fred, usually quick with a joke, found himself speechless. He was captivated by her beauty, a stark contrast to the rumours that swirled around her. "Watch where you're going, Weasley," she spat, her voice as sharp as ice shards. Fred, still mesmerised, could only stammer an apology. He bent down to help her gather the scattered books. Their fingers brushed, sending a jolt of electricity through him. At that moment, Fred Weasley knew he was in trouble. Fred couldn't shake off the encounter. It was as if a spell had been cast on him, one that he couldn't quite understand or break. Clara Lestrange, the girl everyone loved to hate, had somehow gotten under his skin. She was enigmatic, a puzzle he felt compelled to solve. He found himself stealing glances at her in the corridors, his heart pounding whenever their eyes met. Each glance was a silent conversation, a fleeting moment that left him yearning for more. Gone were the witty remarks and playful jabs he usually aimed at Slytherins. Instead, he was consumed by thoughts of Clara, wondering what lay beneath her cold exterior. His twin George noticed the change. Fred's usual exuberance was replaced by a quiet intensity. "Blimey, Fred," he chuckled. "Who knew the Ice Queen had a thawing effect on you?" George's teasing was light-hearted, but it struck a chord. Fred brushed off his twin's teasing, but he knew George was right. There was something about Clara that he couldn't ignore. He was drawn to Clara, to her sharp wit and the vulnerability he sensed beneath her icy exterior. It was as if he could see the real her, hidden away from the world. He found himself thinking about her constantly. Her piercing blue eyes, which seemed to hold 1,000 secrets, the way her dark hair framed her face, giving her an almost ethereal beauty, the hint of a smile that he swore he'd seen once. It was a fleeting moment, but it gave him hope. The more he observed her, the more he realized that the Ice Queen was just a facade, a mask she wore to keep others at bay, a shield she used to protect herself from the world. It made him wonder what had happened to make her so guarded. And Fred, for the first time in his life, found himself wanting to be the one to break down those walls. He wanted to know the real Clara, to understand her in a way no one else did. Clara Lestrange carried her last name like a curse. The whispers followed her like shadows, branding her as a villain before she even spoke a word. The weight of her family's dark reputation pressed down on her. She retreated behind a wall of ice, keeping everyone at a distance. She excelled in her studies, her sharp mind and quick wit earning her respect, but not friendship. She was alone, or so she thought. Then came Fred Weasley, a whirlwind of chaos and laughter, turning her world upside down. His warmth chipped away at her defenses, his kindness like a ray of sunshine through the darkness. He saw past her last name, past the rumors, and saw her, Clara. His attention was both terrifying and exhilarating. For the first time, she dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, she could have something more than the life that seemed preordained for her. Their budding connection did not go unnoticed. Whispers followed them through the castle corridors. Gryffindors questioned Fred's sanity, while Slytherins sneered at Clara's betrayal. The weight of centuries-old rivalry pressed down on them. Fred's own housemates couldn't understand his fascination with Lestrange. "She's a Slytherin, Fred," they'd say, their voices laced with concern and a hint of accusation. "You can't trust her." But Fred refused to listen. He saw something special in Clara, something that transcended their houses, their families, even their history. Clara, too, faced backlash. "He's toying with you," her fellow Slytherins warned, their voices laced with venom. "He's a Weasley, their loyalty lies with their own." Yet Clara couldn't help but be drawn to Fred's warmth, his unwavering belief in her. The more the world pushed them apart, the stronger their resolve became. They found solace in stolen glances, shared smiles and whispered conversations in hidden corners of the castle. The whispers turned into taunts, the sneers into threats. One afternoon, as Clara walked past a group of older Gryffindors, their words crossed the line. They mocked her family, her house, her very being. Clara stood frozen, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly a voice rang out strong and clear. "Leave her alone!" Fred Weasley stood protectively in front of Clara, his eyes blazing with anger. The Gryffindors backed down, muttering under their breath. Clara looked up at Fred, her heart overflowing with gratitude. In that moment, Fred had not only defended her, he had chosen her. He had chosen their connection, their bond, over the expectations of his house, his friends, maybe even his family. It was a turning point for them both. The Whispers didn't disappear entirely, but they held less power. They had each other, and that was all that mattered. Their relationship blossomed in the shadows, hidden from judging eyes. It was a love that thrived in secrecy, away from the prying eyes of the world, where only they could see the beauty of their bond. They met in secret, stealing moments in the room of requirement, that ever-changing space morphing into their own personal haven. Each visit was a new adventure, the room transforming to fit their needs, whether it was a cozy nook for intimate conversations or a grand hall for dancing under the stars. They shared whispered secrets, dreams and fears. In those hushed tones, they found solace and strength, knowing that they could be their true selves with each other. Fred, always the prankster, brought a lightness to Clara's world, melting away the ice that had encased her heart for so long. His jokes and playful antics were a breath of fresh air, lifting her spirits and making her feel alive again. He made her laugh, truly laugh, for the first time in as long as she could remember. It was a laughter that came from deep within, a sound that echoed through the enchanted room and filled it with joy. Clara, in turn, grounded Fred, offering him a sense of peace he never knew he craved. Her calm presence was a balm to his restless spirit, providing him with a stability that he had never experienced before. She challenged his mind, engaging him in intellectual debates that left them both exhilarated. Their conversations were a dance of wit and wisdom, each one pushing the other to think deeper and dream bigger. He found himself confiding in her, sharing his dreams of opening a joke shop with George, a dream he had kept hidden from most. With Clara, he felt safe to reveal his deepest aspirations, knowing she would support him unconditionally. Their differences, once a source of fear and uncertainty, became the foundation of their bond. They learned to embrace what made them unique, finding strength in their diversity and building a relationship that was richer for it. They completed each other, filling the gaps in each other's lives. Where one was weak, the other was strong. And together they formed a perfect balance, a harmonious union that was unbreakable. They were proof that love could bloom even in the most unlikely of places. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, their love was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of connection and the magic of shared dreams. As their bond deepened, so did their desire to bridge the divide that separated their houses. They knew they couldn't change centuries of rivalry overnight, but they had to start somewhere. An idea sparked in Fred's mischievous mind, one that both terrified and excited Clara. They would host a party, a secret gathering in the room of requirement, inviting students from both Gryffindor and Slytherin. It was a risky plan, one that could easily backfire, but they were determined to try. The night of the party arrived, and to their relief, students from both houses cautiously entered the room of requirement. Fred, with his natural charisma, had everyone laughing within minutes. Clara, her initial nervousness fading, found herself engaging in lively conversations with students she had only ever exchanged wary glances with. The party was a resounding success. For one night, the walls between Gryffindor and Slytherin crumbled, replaced by laughter, shared stories, and a sense of camaraderie. It was a small step, but it was a start. Word of the secret party spread through the castle like wildfire. It was as if the very walls of Hogwarts were buzzing with excitement and anticipation. Soon, students from other houses were clamoring for invitations. The allure of the forbidden gathering was too strong to resist, and curiosity got the better of them. Fred and Clara found themselves at the heart of a movement that challenged the very fabric of Hogwarts. They were no longer just students. They were leaders, visionaries who dared to dream of a united school. Their love story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of understanding and acceptance. It was a love that transcended the boundaries of house and heritage, a love that spoke to the very soul of Hogwarts. It inspired others to look beyond the prejudices and rivalries that had divided them for far too long. Students began to see each other not as rivals but as friends, as allies in a shared journey. Even after Fred and Clara graduated from Hogwarts, their legacy lived on. Their story was told and retold, becoming a part of the school's rich tapestry of history and legend. The annual Unity Party became a tradition, a celebration of the bonds that united them, rather than the differences that divided them. It was a night where students from all houses came together to celebrate their shared identity as Hogwarts students. Their story served as a reminder that love knows no boundaries, no houses, no prejudices. It was a love that defied the odds, a love that showed the true meaning of courage and resilience. It was a testament to the courage it took to defy expectations and to fight for a love that dared to challenge the very foundations of their world. Fred and Clara's love was a revolution, a quiet yet powerful force that changed the hearts and minds of those around them. Fred Weasley and Clara Lestrange, the prankster and the Ice Queen, proved to Hogwarts and to themselves that love indeed could conquer all. Their legacy was not just a story of romance, but a story of unity, bravery, and the enduring power of love.